Hello everyone, this is OYesMC, and today we're going to be doing some Java coding for Bukkit plugins for like servers and things. Before you watch this video, you'll want to watch a video which I'm going to upload directly after this one, and that will teach you how to get all the things you need to actually make, to actually open up this program here, which is called Eclipse. Once you've opened up Eclipse, first of all we want to make a new project, and you can do that by clicking on File, New, and then hovering over New. You can File, New, and you can click Java Project, or you can, on this little sort of window with a plus sign in the top right and a little drop down menu, you can scroll down to that and it'll come up with this. Now I'm not sure, but you might not have Java project here. If it doesn't show up here, just click on Other, and then go down to Java, and click on Java project. Then click Next, and then you can get your project name. So I'm just gonna name mine Test. Actually, no, I'm gonna name it Ping, because we're going to be working with the command for essentials /ping. Then it says Pong. That's basically what we need to do. Don't click Finish. You want to click Next. Once you click Next, it will come up to this screen. You want to scroll over to the Libraries tab, add external jars, and you want to go down to wherever you saved your bukkit.jar. Remember, you want to get Bukkit and not Craft Bukkit. So I'm going to be personally using the 1.7.10. Okay, there we go. Now on this side tab called the Package Explorer, you should be able to see a list of your projects. So Ping should be the only one you have, or whatever you named it. I want to now right click on Ping, go to New, and go to Package. And with this package, we're going to name it me dot, and then your name here. So, yes, and then a dot, and then whatever you want really. I usually do main, but one thing you want to know is not to use the same package name for all of your plugins, because it tends to mess up and it's a bit weird. So I'm just going to name this Ping. Once you've done that, you'll see that when you open up the little, you've made a package, it should come under an src, and you'll have Java libraries and reference libraries. You want to keep those how they are. You want to right click on the package which you just created, go to New, and click on Class. This is where we will do our coding. So I'm going to name this main with a capital M. You don't have to, you can name this whatever you want, but I'm pretty sure you can't start things with dots or numbers. Once that is done, you'll come up with your code. Now, personally for you, you might not have these line numbers. Line numbers are really helpful. To get them, you want to hover over roughly where my line numbers are and right click, and then there'll be like a little box with tons of stuff, and then there'll say show line numbers. You can click on that to show the line numbers. Okay, once you've done that, we're going to work on the actual code itself. So up here we have the package. You don't want to change this, because this basically shows where the class is located. It's located in the package me.oyes.ping. And this is our class, which we've made as main. And basically, everything within these two squiggly brackets here is what the plugin will read when we fire it up onto the server. So first of all, after the main, you want to write extends in lowercase, and then Java plugin, all one word, with a capital J and a capital P. Now you want to hover over the Java plugin which you just wrote, and click Import Java plugin. This will basically notify us that it's a Java plugin, and we'll be able to use things from Bukkit. So once we've done this, we can make a bit of room just so we can get a bit of a layout, and we're going to make a method which is called onEnable and onDisable. So you want to write the @ symbol and then override, all one word with a capital O. You don't have to import anything for this, and type public space void, and then on lowercase, and then enable with the uppercase E. And I want to create a squiggly bracket, and once you press enter, it will automatically create the closing squiggly bracket. And you want to do that again, but this time on disable. Okay, so now we have an on enable statement and an on disable statement. This basically means that when the plugin is enabled, it will do this, and when it's disabled, it will do this. So we're going to simply write get logger, and then create some brackets, and then dot, and then it will come up with a list of possible things you can use. Sometimes it will like sort of the first time you do it, it will say not responding, or it might lag a bit. I don't know if you have a bad computer like mine, but once it's done, it should come up like this. And we want to write info, and then you can double click on this. If not, then just create the 2 brackets yourself. And then in this, we can create some speech marks. And then when the plugin is enabled, this is what it will say in the console. So we can do ping is enabled. Okay, and we want to do that again, so we can copy and paste this if you want to, or you can write it out yourself, and we can change this to disabled. So when the when the server is turned on with the plugin, it will say this in the console, and when it's disabled, it will say this in the console. So now we can work on the commands. So we want to make a public, not void, boolean, and this is going to be called on command. If it's a boolean, it means it will return true or false, meaning it will be either true or false, basically. And this on command is going to be when a player sends a command. So we're going to make the command sender, and we're going to call the command sender. We're going to call the command cmd. We're going to make a string called command label, and we're going to make a string with square brackets and then args afterwards. Now we can open up some squiggly brackets, and now we can import things. Now, easy way to import things rather than having to hover over and wait a little while is you can press Control, Shift, and O, and that will import everything. When you import the command, you want to import it from org.bukkit.command.command. And there you go. Now, don't worry about this. This will all come up in red. All we need to do for this is type return false with a semicolon at the end. But if you don't want to type it out, you can always hover over the red line and click on add return statement. And now the red line will go away. So this is where we're going to make our command. So first of all, we're going to check if the command sender is a player. So obviously, if the command is sent from a console, so we're going to write if something's an if statement, it means it checks if something's happening, and then if it is, it'll do something else. So make some brackets, and then in these brackets, we're going to write an exclamation mark, and then make some more brackets. This means that if, and then whatever's in here, is not something, then do something else. You might not understand it at the beginning, but you definitely get to understand it at the beginning. So, in a while, sorry. So we're going to do if sender, if exclamation mark sender, then we're going to do instance of, all one word, and then a capital P for player. Then we can make some squiggly brackets, and then whatever's in here is what's going to happen if the sender is not a player. So we're going to import player, and then we're going to do sender dot, and we're going to send them a message, and it's going to be you cannot use commands. Okay, so this will basically check if the sender is not a player, and if they're not a player, then it will send them this: you cannot use commands. So once you do that, we can come out of this, and we're going to make a new if statement. Well, this one isn't going to include an exclamation mark. We're going to check if the command label dot. We're going to check if the command label, or what you sent as the command, not equals, equals ignore case, and then whatever is in here will be our command. So we're going to do ping. Make some squiggly brackets there. This means when you type, like, I'll do it down here. If you like /ping, then it will run whatever is in here, whatever's in between these two brackets. The reason why we do equals ignore case is that if we just did equals, it means when they sent the command, it would have to be exactly ping in lowercase. So you couldn't do ping with a capital P or ping all capitals or like something like that. Which is why if it's equals ignore case, it doesn't matter what you put, as long as it's PING, it will work. So we're going to quickly make something up here actually, and we're going to make the sender a player. So because now that we've checked up here that the player, the sender definitely is a player, because if it wasn't, then it would send them this. We can now make a new player. So we're going to create a player here, and we're going to call this player P. And this player P is going to be equal to the sender. But once you do this, it will come up in red. All we need to do for this is create 2 brackets, and then in between these type player. And this will make it work. This is because the on command doesn't actually know that the sender is a player, even though we've done this. So because we've done this, we do know, which is why we put this. This is called casting, and we'll get into that a bit later in the tutorials. So now we can do tons of stuff with a player. Like, for example, we can do P dot, and then whatever P dot it has tons of different things we can do. So we're going to, what we're going to do is send them a message, like we did before. And we can now use chat colors. So you can do the speech marks. And you can do, well, I'll show you 2 ways to do chat colors, but I find this one works better. If you do chat color dot, and then you have a list of chat colors you can use. So I'm going to use aqua because aqua is a nice color. Then we need to do the plus symbol, and then we can write our message here. So pong, the semicolon. This means when they send the command ping, it will send them pong in aqua. The reason why we use the plus is because that's how Java works. It's this and this. It's kind of hard to explain, but it's alright. But what we can do, instead of using chat colors, which this way is less workative, if that's a way to explain it. It's easier, but it's just it's better to use chat color dot. But you can press the Alt key and then 21. Oh, oopsie. And this will create this little symbol here. Now you can copy and paste this, or cut, and paste it. This is the little symbol you'll usually see when you format colors with Minecraft. Hold on, let me actually. There we go. This, and then you can write B, and then it will turn whatever you write next into the color. But I personally just prefer to use chat.color or chat.color.aqua plus. It's more text to write, but I find it's better to use. Okay, this is actually done now. So all we need to do is Control S, and now we need to make the plugin.yml. This is what tells the console what the plugin's called, all the commands it's using, and things like that. So I will get to you in a second when I have that all set up. Okay, so I'm back. I've just done a little bit of copying pasting, and we're going to create the YML now. So we're going to right click on the ping Java project we created and go on to new and go down to file, and we're going to call this plugin.yml, all lowercase. Plugin.yml, sorry. Once we finish, it should come up. If you have Notepad++ or you default it to Notepad++, it will come up in Notepad++. But we don't want it to happen, so we want to simply click and drag it to over here. If you don't have Notepad++, it'll automatically come up in here, I do so believe. So I'm going to put a paste bin in the description of this. This is the plugin YML. Obviously, it's not going to be exactly the same, but we're going to rename this in a minute. So the name's going to be ping. This is extremely important. The main is extremely important. There aren't any permissions, so we don't have to worry about that. I'll paste the plugin.yml in the description, don't worry. But the main is extremely important. If you get it wrong, the plugin will not work. It has to be exactly all the cases and everything. So you want to get your package name, which is me.oes.ping, and then your class name, so main, or the main class. So there we go. And our version is 1.0, and we only have one command at the moment, which is ping. So command ping, and the description is going to be gets your ping. I'm not really sure what it's what to call it the description, but it's okay. Okay, so there we go. We can save that, and now we want to left click on the plugin.yml and press F5. This will refresh it. We can do that for the main .java and the ping.java. What we can do now is we can right click on our entire Java project or the ping. Go down to export, and we're going to export it into Java jar file. Click next, and now we can do everything here. So when it's up here, you'll see it'll be selected, and you want to make sure the plugin.yml is ticked. So, and then down here we can name it. So I'm going to name it ping.jar. You can actually name this whatever you want if you want to. You can name it .jar and it would work. This is just the name of it, but I'm going to name it ping just so it's easier. Once you do this, I'm going to actually change. I'm going to actually save this to my localhost server. So I'm going to do desktop /localhost. Actually, no, it's capital L. /plugins. There we go. So I'm going to get to you in game. Okay, so I'm quickly going to show you the console which I've got here for my server. And as you can see, if you go down to where it says done, in the plugins, it will say ping, enabling ping 1.0, and then it will say down here, ping is enabled, which is what we actually put in here. As you can see here. So it says that. That's pretty cool. So when it's done, you can join your server, whatever you saved it to, and make sure to save the your plugin to somewhere where you can get it easily. It'll come as a .jar, and then I saved it to my server file in the plugins file. As you can see, it's here. If you're using a hosted server by like a company, then you want to go into the FTP and save it into the plugins as well. Or you can use something like FileZilla, which I'll probably make a tutorial on some point. So let's go into multiplayer. Scroll down to my localhost. Logging in. Might take quite a while because I'm obviously running Minecraft, recording, and a server, so it's obviously it's struggling to breathe here. But yeah, so I'm gonna quickly make this not for full screen, but I'll make it roughly. Also, I'm in game. Hello, and I'm going to type /pl for plugins, and you'll see that on your plugins it will say ping. If you've done if it doesn't come up in the plugins, that means that the plugin.yml is wrong, and you need to go and double check that all of the spaces, capital letters, and everything are correct. So if we do type /help ping, it'll give us a list of the command. So there we go. We have our /ping command. So if I do /ping, pong, and it will say it in the aqua color which we created earlier. We can actually simply change this. We can change it to, like, say, green, and save it, and refresh, and export, jar file, ping, refresh, and /reload. Reload complete. Still there. And if I do /ping, it'll come up in green now. Pong. So I think this basically shows it depends. When you do /ping, your ping depends on how long it takes for it to say pong, basically. Oh no, slimes. I'm going to game mode 1 real quick. Game. Game 1. There we go. Okay, well there we go. So I hope you enjoyed that. I certainly did. It's very fun teaching people how to code and things. Make sure to hit the like button, as it will make this tutorial more popular if somebody searches how to code a plugin or something like that. So yeah, obviously this is the most simplest of the simple. So obviously, next tutorial we're going to be doing something better. We're going to be working on how to heal players or how to damage players. So that's pretty cool. And yeah, so I'll see you next episode then. So thank you for watching very much. And I have a pork chop in my hand and wool and a dead rabbit. But there we go. See you next time. Bye bye.